So I went ahead and set this all up. I'm not going to be doing much talking unless I see somebody else on the stream. So if somebody else comes on and wants to have a chat, we can talk about things. But for now, I'm just going to kind of set this up and go. This is going to be a practice stream for a flight that I'm going to do probably later this week. So just watch me as I figure all this stuff out. We'll just kind of go from there. Start for this thing. So I already got my flight plan plugged in. We're going to be flying the Carenado departure, which is an RNAV. We're hopefully going to get 2.5. So the Carenado departure out to the west. A lot of stuff is pretty standard. So we got to be at or below 10 there, then 12, 14, 17. So we'll basically be at or below 10 there, then up to 20,000. Level 200, which is the altitude that we have specifically requested. Planning the localizer DME Echo out in Aspen. We're going to be going to that from Red Table. So from Red Table, we can descend down to 13,400. To Jargu, then 12.9, then 11.7, or sorry, 12.9, 12.3, 11.7, and then down to the final approach fix, which will be a 6.59 degree continuous descent to final. So we're going to be shooting this approach at nearly 10,000 feet, so we're going to have to do some math on that one. Out here, so our VREF is going to be approximately 8590, depending on our weight when we get there, which we'll check for fuel. But we'll go ahead and do some true airspeed calculations. So we're going to be at, say, 10,000. So 10,000 feet is going to be 20% more true airspeed than our indicated. So we're going to say 90 knots times 1.2, 20% more. It's going to be 108. So we're probably going to have a 108 knot ground speed at VREF, but we're going to be shooting that approach from the final approach fix probably 10 knots faster than that. So 108 plus 10, say 120, right? So if 120, which still puts us in category B, so if 120 is our approach speed from the final approach fix, we can use that to calculate our foot per minute descent required. This is all ground speed, of course. We'll check the ground speed on the GPS as we come in just to see what it's doing. In the meantime, we're going to go to Documents, which is here. Go to FAA, Digital Terps, and the very last page. So for ground speed of 120 with a descent angle of, it was 6 something, it was 6.57 I believe is what it was, is even on the chart. So we're going to need an excess of 1100 feet per minute to make this descent angle correctly. So there is a way we can do the math on that. I forgot the calculation off the top of my head, but if I can find that, I'll use it. In the meantime, we may just have to descend quickly to make it happen. So let's do some, let me think about that real quick. How did I do that the other day? Oh, it's been so long since I've had to do math like this, but I will figure it out. In the meantime, we know it's going to be steep, so we'll probably go down at least 1,000 feet a minute, at least 1,100, possible even slower. But moving on to something else, I'm going to keep scanning some stuff around and figure this math out real quick. Though, so I'll just use my E6B. That will help me out. Functions, climb, descent, gradient, convert gradient. So a degree angle of 6.59. That's going to be a 700 foot per nautical mile descent gradient, which is quite a bit. Well, we can safely say that it's that 6.79 degrees is at least twice as much as half of it, right? Well, let's just do this. Let's just use the foot per nautical mile. Feet per nautical mile is 701.94. So if I say 700, half of that is 350, right? So at 350. I'm showing a 700 foot per minute descent. So let's just double that, 1,400 feet per minute. Perfect. That's what we're going to do. That makes this significantly easier. I'm all about some of that easy pilot math. So we'll plan on 1,400 feet per minute as we come down on this approach. Meanwhile, we're going to go ahead and get the ATIS and get the clearance and get out of here. How about everything else already planned up and ready to go? So we're just going to go ahead and execute and make this happen. We got plenty of fuel in the airplane today, so we're just going to go on, make it happen. So, alright, this is not the first flight of the day, so I'm not going to do all the other tests. We're just going to go through this as if we just got in the plane from a quick turn. So battery's going to come on. I've got the GPU turned on right now, so I've got some juice in there. I'm going to go ahead and get my clearance and get that ball rolling. So turn the AC inverters on and the avionics on. Got my Garmin set up right here. Connor to 7 departure, which I actually need to put in here. So I'll go here to load procedure. Departure, Connor 7. Hopefully runway 25 is what I'll get. Localizer DME Echo approach out there via red table. It's already been plugged in there, so we'll transfer that over. It's good. Well, that looks like I want it to be. It's perfect. And then I do have the alternate airport is going to be Eagle. So if we can't get in Aspen for some reason, we're going to go to Eagle County Airport, which I do have plugged in down here as an alternate. The flight plan already prepared. So I can go here to Catalog. Aspen to Eagle is right there plugged in. So good to go, ready for it whenever I need it. Alright, the ATIS is 3402, so we're going to go ahead and listen to that.
Arriving runways 1 right, 17 right, 17 left. Departing runways 17 right, 25, 8. Visual approach is in use. ILS runway 16 right, departures protect clearance delivery. Advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Read back runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information, Papa.
Papa.
Denver International Airport. 8 is information, Papa. 2053 Zulu. Wind 310 at 3. Visibility 10. Few clouds at 8,000. 15,000 scattered. 2,000 scattered. Temperature 15. Dew point -3. Altimeter 3029er. Arriving runways 1 right, 17 right, 17 left. Departing runways 17 right, 258. Visual approaches in use. ILS runway 16 right, runway 17 right.
Alright, I got what I wanted.
Runway 17 left approach in use. Multiple R
So we're good for that.
in use.
That looks good. I'm going to go over here and get the information for Denver Airport. Alright. Taxiways. I have followed my flight plan, so it's good to go there. I'm down here at Signature, which is out in that vicinity. I may get 2.5, but hopefully I'll get something different, maybe a little closer, but oh no, we'll see. See what happens. 2.5 would be nice. Alright, so ground control is over there. Clearance delivery, 118.75, so that's what we're going to go ahead and get to now. So I'm just going to tap that, 118.75, transfer that over, and we'll go to clearance. Denver clearance, citation 6656, Papa at Signature, IFR to Aspen.
November 665, Roger, standby. November 1, Lima Uniform, descend and maintain 6,000, altimeter 3009er.
Maintain 6,000 we say where we can. Could we put the LDA with a right on request heading from Rejoy?
And you said you wanted it from Lee Joy?
Romeo Echo Juliet Oscar Yankee.
November 1, Lima Uniform, your request. Clear direct from Rejoy. Maintain 6,000, standby for your clearance.
Okay, clear direct Rejoy, 1 Lima Uniform.
To the plane, I'm waiting for our clearance here. This is a Carenado S550. It's not the most realistic airplane on the planet, but it works, so I'm not incredibly worried about any kind of weird systems issues. It's just not worth dealing with. So setting this here, our altitude is about
November 566, clearance available, advisory to copy.
Citation 6656, ready to copy.
November 66, you're cleared to Aspen Airport via the Connor 7 departure, Werner to Zachor, that's Zulu Alpha Kilo Oscar Romeo direct. On departure via SID, climb maintain flight level 200. Departure frequency with Denver on 126.1, clock 1455.
Citation 656, cleared to Aspen, Pickens County, Connor 7, Werner, direct Zachor, direct, climb via SID. We'll expect flight level 200, 26-1, 1455.
November 656, correct.
Okay, so we've been cleared to a slight route change. Everything is pretty well expected as I planned. I'm going to go ahead and plug in my squawk code of 1.
November 1 Lima Uniform to Rejoy at or above 2,000. Cleared the LDA runway 19 approach.
Reporting, that's set up on there.
Request Rejoy above 2,000, cleared LDA 19 approach.
That's what I want it to be. That is good. Looking here, 1, 2,
Aspen Clarence, good afternoon. 464 Mike Whiskey requesting flight following to Centennial at 17,500. Aircraft type is the Cirrus SR-22 Turbo, Slant Golf.
That's our flight plan. I don't like it, but that is okay. We can always request what we have to request.
November 464 Whiskey.
I suppose that chord does work, but it just means that we're going to have to get something different. I mean, I want red table, but
Our departure
let's see what
23
that
is
looks like.
4265 in the box for forming.
And can you say your destination airport one more time, please?
That's going to be Centennial.
Roger.
Yeah. Not a huge fan. Because what's happening is now I'm going to get Werner somewhere way over here. Here's Zachor, and that's not going to put me anywhere near my fix that I want. Technically, Zacor's over here somewhere. I'd have to get an off-route clearance to red table, but that's fine. If I lose comms, let's see what kind of approach I can shoot from Zachor. I can't even do the RNAV there. Doesn't make much sense. The weather over there, let's check that again and see what it's doing again. The weather at Aspen's pretty much clear, and it's looking like it's going to stay that way basically the whole day, so worst case scenario, I can just go VFR in case I lose comms, but that's fine.
Ground Cirrus 46 Mike Whiskey is at Atlantic with Oscar, ready for taxi.
I would be more concerned about it if it was IMC, but it's
November
not.
464 Mike Whiskey, Aspen Ground, Roger. Runway 33 at Alpha 6, taxi Alpha.
Alright, 33 Alpha 6 taxi for Mike Whiskey.
So 10,000 is our first restriction. So I have that bugged in there. Everything else looks pretty good.
November 1, leave me a report, Jones, inbound.
Looks like we're good there.
Report Jones inbound, let me know.
That up just a little bit for me. Alright, go here. I'm going to save this flight plan. Perfect, because I will have to turn this all off to restart the airplane, which is what I'm going to go ahead and do now.
Jackson Ground, Carrier 57, ready, copy IFR.
Alright, that's all off. We're going to go ahead and start this jet up. So all the pre-start stuff has already been completed. Oxygen mask, circuit breakers, all that jazz has been good. And before starting engines checklist, pre-flight's been completed. Cabin doors are locked. Passenger briefing's good. Battery switch is on bat. Parking brake set. Chocks removed. Seats pedals are good. Lights are set. Rotating beacon is on. Continuing on with the checklist. Starting engines. We'll go ahead and start the the right side first, because we are in fact going to be doing a GPU start. So I'll start the right side. So we're going to do a little clear inspection here. So we've got the right window. You have clear right. Back to the pilot view. Looks like we're good. So I'm going to unlock the throttle. Now sometimes this citation on X-Plane doesn't like to work correctly. If I bring this up, it's below the gate. Very good. So what I'm going to do is zoom out slightly so I can see the ITT, not the ITT, but the other one, the N2. There we go. I can see that on my other screen, which is slightly above. I'm going to unlock that, which I just did. Can I move it forward? Yes, I can. Perfect. So it's below the line. Click that. That's good. Very good. That's what we'll do. looks like we're good there. We're clear left, clear right. And boost pumps are on normal. Igniters are on normal. Hopefully it starts, because sometimes Carenado does not want to work correctly. So watch for that. Alrighty. Looking for 8% into. There's 8%. We'll bring her up. And I've got nothing. Nope. Got nothing. Disengage the starter. Or is it gonna start? Really? Interesting. It did start. That's weird. That's really weird. See, the real jet doesn't do that, guys. It doesn't. It's very weird. See, the real jet, for example, the real jet doesn't have a turbine number 2 N2 of 71%. It just does not do that. That's just not realistic at all. No, whatever. We got oil pressure, temperature, salt looks good. So, alright, that looks good. So I'm going to disconnect the GPU. Appreciate that. Alright, GPU is disconnected. I'm going to turn on my generator. Got generator. That looks good. Both generators are showing 28. Now this should show 28 right now, but it does not. That's okay. That is a simulator glitch. My right side stuff looks good. Just like I want it. Wonderful. Alright, we'll start the other one. Unlocking that. I'm turn this on and see what happens if I do that. It shouldn't have to do it, but I'm just going to see what happens. Light off. There we go. Okay. So it is going to work. Yeah, see, in the real jet, when the N2 hits about 25%, we should see something spinning on and 1. And it should be idling around 50% now, not 70-something. But again, that's just a Carenado issue. Not too worried about that. Everything looks good over there, so we've got 2 good engines. Go ahead and get rid of that. It's a normal. Those are normal. They need to be. All looks good down there. It's all good there. Inverters. Just won't do much in the sim here. AC power, avionics. DC amps and volts are checked. Anti-eye systems checked and not required.
Looks like
Passenger advisory lights. No one is in the back right now. We're flying an empty jet. Any skid's gonna come on.
Stand by, Care 2.
Roger that. Any skid's coming on. That's good. Gyro pressure is gonna be over there. That's all good. We got battery temp. No, I checked that earlier today. Pressurization, I've set that for Denver. That's not going to be a problem. We'll go ahead and set this up for our cruise altitude at 20,000. Right about there. That's correct. Just where I want to see it. Very good. Electric trim. Is it going to work? That works. And it is set for takeoff. That's wonderful. Just what I want it to do. Passenger seats good in the back. Belts and harnesses good. ADAS clearance copied. Avionics tested, checked, and set. We'll do that now. And then the autopilot, I've tested that already, so not required. So we'll go ahead and load up the GPS. 429 on board. That's what I want. About 3,000 pounds. Flight plan. We're going to load our stored flight plan from Denver to Aspen. Activate. Yes. So it's going to be Connor 7, Werner, Zachor, and the localizer D. Tiddly-tastic. Alright, cool beans. Set our autopilot, so go around button. Gets our flight director on there. That's what I want. Go around. Heading bug. And altitude select. We'll set our heading bug for the runway that we were going to be using. So I'm over here on the 17 right side, which might be the runway that I'm going to get. So regardless, I'm going to go ahead and call ground on that side. So 17 right, 121.85. Let's go and do that here. Interesting. I wonder if that does anything there. Cool. Whatever. Alright. 2185. Transfer.
And Jackson Ground, Care 357.
Air 367.
Yeah, looks like I set that departure. It wants to take me to Bravo Oscar Yankee transition, but if you just give me vectors or direct, Big Piney should be fine.
Alright, Roger. Change clearance to read divide 1, divide rate of vector Big Piney. Rest of route unchanged.
Alright, divide 1, divide departure, and rate of vectors Big Piney. Care 357.
Care 367, ready for taxi?
Affirmative, ready to test short Charlie.
Roger, taxi 1, via Charlie Apple 1.
1 via Charlie Alpha 1, Care 357.
Denver ground citation 6656. Papa ready to taxi IFR from signature.
Number 751, lead form Roger, RP cancellation received, radar service terminated, and have a nice day.
321 leaving the full deck.
Last aircraft calling on Andrew again.
Citation 6656. Ready to taxi IFR from signature with Papa.
Site 6656, verify squawking 1455. I'm not getting your remote or your trans.
Yep, I see the problem there. Let me do that. Stand by. 1455. That was my mistake. You should be getting it now.
Care 357, short on ready for departure.
Yeah, when I reset the transponder.
Care 357 is in hold tower,
GTX,
runway 1,
reset.
clear for takeoff, wind 010 at 6.
1, clear off Care 357.
Citation 56, I got your mode C now, runway 17 right, taxi via Lima 1, Mike 10.
Lima 1, Mike 10 to 17 right. 17 correction 6656. I almost said the other airplane's tail number.
November 46 Mike, what is he? Contact Denver Center 118.57. AC 57
Right.
Mike.
Good to go there. Alright, taxi route's plugged in. We're ready to go. Alright, taxi checklist. Exterior lights are where they need to
November
be.
464 Mike, Denver Center Roger, I'll set her at 29902.
Get rid of that. Exterior lights, anti-collisions, cogs, those will be off. Landing lights, one of those on. Passenger advisory lights not needed, everything else looks good. And flaps for takeoff.
Yep, that's what's showing. What are you showing?
Alright, speed brakes extend, those look good.
standby 1.
Alright, wonderful. Alright, let's get this ball rolling. And reversers. Those work.
Okay, I had to force refresh it. 3038 is what I'm showing now.
This jet is ready to go.
Care 357, back to departure.
Departure, good to go.
Go ahead and set 170 on here. Take a minute, that's alright.
Care 357, city departure. Okay, Salt Lake City side end.
It's gonna take a minute. Alright, that's good. That's where I want it. Alright. Parking brakes released. Now we're taxiing.
Care 357, radar tax 3 miles north of Jackson Hole, condensate flight level 230.
Clear left. Clear right. There, but he's not going to stop for us because this is a simulator. So we'll have a bring get past him. He's good. All these trucks and stuff. It's just not realistic, but whatever. I have to ignore all those. Clear around and we'll make our turn here on the taxiway. So it will be appropriate for us to reset our GPS for this. Select departure. Runway 17 right is what we're doing next. That is correct. So instead of being in heading mode for this, we are going to be in nav.
Walker 4150, contact Eugene Tower 118.9er.
118.9er, we're 4153.
So that is showing correct
Eugene
runway.
Tower,
We are in GPS
4153
mode,
ILS,
so the autopilot
16
is
right.
going to be showing
Walker 4150,
nav for takeoff.
Eugene Tower, Romeo 16
So
right, clear to land, wind variable
autopilot
at 3.
nav instead of heading.
Clear to land 16 right, Walker 4153.
Otherwise, that is all correct. Tower frequency. It's not going to show on that plate, so we're going to have to go back to the airport page and get that information. Alright, so tower for 17 right. Let's see who's that's going to be. It's going to be 124.3. So I'll tap here. 1243. I have that plugged in there, ready to go, and then departure is 26.1.
Care 357, turn right, direct
instead. That's pretty nice. All my speeds have been briefed. I think 85 is V1. V2 is about 95, 97. So I just went ahead and bugged 100 or just below 100 to give me a ballpark estimate, because sometimes in the sim it's just, this is not going to be perfectly accurate, so I figured let's just make nice easy round numbers that we can remember. Alright, so I'll go ahead and run through before takeoff checklist right now. Before takeoff checklist, anti-ice systems are not required. Flight controls are free and correct. Flaps and trim set for takeoff. I've got flaps set for 20 and trim is set. Takeoff data is confirmed and set. Crew briefing is complete. And on the lineup, we'll do ignition, speedostatic heat, lights, transponder, unseater panel, and then throttle instruments. So we'll stand by for those. And of course, pitot heat. Pitot heat has not been done yet. It's still off. Pulling up on the runway, we'll go ahead and switch over to tower and plug in 26.1 for departure. Just going to verify that is the correct frequency. That's what I have written down. That's correct, 26.1. Taxiway coming up that we're looking for. Departure looks good. Perfect. Denver Tower, Citation 6656, pulling up on 17 right, ready to go.
Denver Tower, winds 310 at speed, runway 17 right, clear for takeoff.
17 right, clear for takeoff, station 66566. Alright, we are clear for takeoff. Now, pitot heat's gonna come on. Ignition's coming on. Lights, flicking all those puppies on. Lane lights are on. Annunciator panel is clear. Autopilot is set. Up there so I can use it. We're in nav mode. We're good to go. Not this taxiway, but the next one.
Just radio check.
Over 389 Hood Phoenix, you're loud and clear.
Thank you.
Walker 4153, your parking destination?
Atlantic Aviation 4153.
Here's that taxiway.
Walker 4153, roger. Taxi to park. Output Delta to the ramp, monitor this frequency.
Clear left and right.
Approaching runway 17 right.
Frequency Walker 4153.
Thank you very much for flight.
Entered runway.
Appreciate that. GPS up here. Where's out of my way? There we go. Alright, runway is verified. We are good to go. Alright. set. ITTs and 1s and 2s look good. $60 knots. There's 80. V1. Rotate.
November 4 Mike Whiskey tag Denver approach 120.35.
Positive rate. Gear up. Yaw damper on.
Denver approach, Sirius 4 Mike Whiskey 17.5 inbound Lima.
Sirius
Flight
42
director.
Mike Whiskey
400
Denver
feet.
approach right.
Flaps up. Autopilot's on. Thrust looks good.
November Citation 656 contact departure.
Departure 656 today.
Good day.
Denver departure citation 6656 is 6,400 climbing via.
Citation 6656 Denver departure radar contact. Verify climbing to flight level 200.
Correct. We are climbing via to flight level 200.
Roger, thank you.
That's good. Igniter's coming off. Landing lights coming off. Landing gear is up. Flaps are up. We're good. Everything's set. Alright, at the takeoff checklist. Landing gear's up. Yaw damper flaps. Ignition climb power set. Synchronizers on. Pressurization's checked and set. Passenger advisory steer lights and altimeters set and checked. At the takeoff checklist is complete. No concerns. We're just climbing in pitch mode right now, which is totally fine. I think I'm going to lower it, however, and let us get a bit more speed out of the deal. 1,000 to go. There's 240, looking for 250. There's 250, we're gonna hold the speed there. Capturing altitude, so that was excessive. Bring the thrust back. Kind of a bad idea, but that's alright. Alright, thrust is set, looking pretty good. About ready to cross foam, so I'll go ahead and set my altitude at the next point, which is going to be flight level 200. It's my only maximum that I have beyond this. Flight level 200 is set. As soon as I cross, I'll start climbing to it. There it is. Starting to climb and setting climb thrust. Whoa, that's not supposed to happen, so we're gonna disconnect that and bring that back down. Not supposed to happen. So, to prevent a stall from happening, disconnect the autopilot.
Autopilot.
Bring it back down, some down trim. No big deal, just keep flying the airplane. Alright, we'll debrief what happened on that here in just a second. It's pretty easy to fix though. I know exactly what happened, I think. So that's good. Autopilot's coming back on in nav mode, altitude select, and vertical speed. So basically what happened there is you'll notice right here the speed bug On the jet that I fly, that speed can only go to about 140, and you can't bug anything else. However, in this airplane, apparently, you can set whatever speed you want, and it will actually hold that for you. That's what I believe is happening. So what I'm going to do is do an experiment. I'm going to set that to 250 and hit speed and see if it holds it. Yeah, I think it is. The flight director is going down to try to hold that speed. Yeah, because what happened should have not happened, but this must be set for that. Of course, we can go above 250 if we want to, because we have no speed limit above 10,000. Except for Mach 1, which we cannot get to, so not a big deal about that. Our next restriction is 12,000 at Tavern, but we're at 14,000 accelerating, so we're doing okay. As far as our ITTs, those are doing
We're going to clip the Bravo. I would like to pick up a request
do have an
to
option
transition on down.
for higher
Say
ITTs, I believe.
altitude setting to.
Yeah, we're descending to 10,000, and we're going to be setting up with the Visual Approach 35, right?
November Mike Whiskey, Roger, clear transition, Denver, Class Bravo airspace, to
So
maintain
mass
10,000.
continuous.
Then
Let's see
maintain
it,
10,000.
we're at 14 some odd thousand feet now. So max continuous. I see my barometric pressure is not set correctly. It should be 3029, I believe. So I'll set that. It should have been set earlier, so that was my mistake. Sometimes it's easy to forget things in the simulator. 3029 is set. So let's say I'm at 15,000 here, 10,000 and above. And the temperature outside is showing negative 10. So negative 10, 10 and above. Anti-ice on, anti-ice is off. So 101.8 is my max in 1, which right now I'm limited to temperature. So I'm going to leave it there at that point just to give myself some good room to work with. Fuel's looking good. OTs, OPs look good. Everything's just tracking along just like I want it to, so that is good. It's quite interesting that it can do that. Would have not thought that. Alright, so kind of seeing what's going on next here. We've got a little while till we get to Aspen, showing about 16 minutes to Aspen. This one's at standard, but that's alright because I'm about to flick over to standard anyway. In fact, I'll flick over to standard now. Close enough. There we go. Looking
Citation
good.
666, contact Denver Center 120.7.
I say frequency again, 656.
12047.
12047. 656. Good day. Denver Center, citation 6656176, climbing via to flight level 200. Request direct, red table enable.
Citation 656, Denver Center, Roger. Clear direct red table, maintain flight level 200.
Cleared direct, red table, maintain flight level 200. Station 656. Alright, so far so good. We're going to go direct red table now. direct. Here. DBL. Activate. Now, I'm going to go plug this in the rest of the way. So, red table is what I'm expecting for the localizer, DME Echo. So we'll plan on that for now. So we got the localizer frequency plugged in up top. Everything's looking honky-dory. I'm above 18,000 feet, so we're good there. Approach. Alright, localizer is a 110.15. See, this localizer DME Echo into Aspen. Chart is current.
4 Mike was Roger. Before you go, traffic, 11 o'clock, 10 miles.
11:15.
This is 120.4.
Get that in a second. So 11:15 is the localizer frequency, which I have plugged in. 1,000 to go there. Approach course is in 151. Runway that we're going to be landing on is probably 15, which is going to be 8,000 feet long. This will be a circling approach. Let's see here. The missed approach is pretty involved. We'll read that here in a second. Frequencies are all plugged in there. 20.4 on the ATIS. We'll go ahead and get that now. So scroll on down here. 20.4. The ATIS. Listen to that. May not be able to get it just yet because we're too far out, but leave that on, and if we hear it, we hear it. If we don't, we don't. We're approaching our level off altitude, so we got 500 remaining.
Here's 464 Mike B, Centennial Tower, make straight in runway 35 left, report straight in.
It's kind of cool. Alright, let's see here. The autopilot. It's going to start leveling us off here in a second. I'm going to go ahead and begin to bring my thrust back. So I would like to not blow past V&E. Real jet, it goes from altitude select to capture mode. So in this airplane, sim will not do that. Fun fact. Well, let's see if it does it. Pretty close to red table, so we'll have to watch out for that in a moment. That's the problem. Very good. So we're level at 200. Speeds look good. Everything looks absolutely fine.
Roger. 35 left,
It's
clear land
consumed
with
500 pounds of fuel so far. So moving forward, I still haven't gotten the ATIS yet, but I'm going to tap on this and go ahead and see what I can get as far as weather's down there. So viewing full screen, I'm showing the METAR down there to be 020 at 7. Showing a slight tailwind. We may have to circle, but I might be okay with landing with a 7 knot tailwind. So I think that's what we're going to do. I'm probably going to land with a slight tailwind. That is okay with me for this approach for now. Back to this. Red table at 13.4. I'm going to go ahead and do some calculations for that. I'm going to bring back the thrust just a little bit to keep us from overspeeding. Don't want to do that. The cruise checklist feels good. Pressurization's fine. Let's see, I'm showing my pressurization to be perfectly fine where I want it to be. I like that. Leave it where it is. And then descent checklist. Not going to worry about my foot warmers. My default fan is not that cold up here right now. I mean, it's showing, what, -20? That's not that cold. LOL. Bleed air on the windshield. Probably not going to be required either. Defog fan, not a bad idea. Go ahead and turn that on just in case we got any problems. It's going to go on high. Oh, shot thick of an ATIS. That's what I want. That's good. Alright, air distribution. Cockpit is fine. Pressurization, I'll set that in a second. Yeah, it's fine. Not really, worried about it. So, alright, looks good so far. We're going to go ahead and figure out our top of descent. So let's do this. Back, utilities, VNav. I'm looking for a flight plan. Probably going to start my descent to hit that point there. And then hit Jargo at 13.4. I like that. That is what I'm going to do. In fact, I'm going to plan on hitting Jargo at 13.4 on top of the sense coming up here in a moment. So I'm going to go ahead and hit at save and see if that changes anything. Arriving 15 is over there. Is it Alpha? What said? Information Alpha? One 6,000. Citation 656.
Contact Aspen approach 123.8.
123.8, 656 today. Alright, so set 16,000. I'm going to set that in now.
Deliver format key,
Perfect.
Park. Let's go
Hit
right on
vertical speed, and we will start
Bravo 14,
descending.
Alpha 14, Alpha to the ramp, and cross
Bring the
35
thrust
right
back
at
some.
Bravo 14.
Up there, 123.8 for our frequency. Set 123.8. Transfer that over. Aspen approach, citation 6656. Flight level 1904, descending 16,000. Looking for the localizer, DME Echo.
Citation 665 copy, and copy request to localizer, DME Echo.
656. Wonderful. Alright, so this all looks good. We're descending 16,000. The step downs are pretty easy. It's all plugged into the GPS. That'll be pretty easy to deal with. Speeds look good. We're not overspeeding the airplane. So all the descents look good. Pretty standard stuff. We're just going to be doing a bunch of step downs. The missed approach is what I'm really concerned about. So 108.5. I need to plug that into my number 2. That's going to be important. So 108.5.
Citation 56 at red table, clear the localizer, DME Echo.
Alright, at red table cleared for the localizer DME Echo approach. 656, and we'll be expecting straight in for 15. Let's see, so 108.5.
666 affirmative. I'm not seeing any procedure turn on the flip. Are you?
Yeah, there's no procedure turn. I'm saying that we're going to circle straight in.
Oh, roger that.
we hit red table, we're dropping down to a 13.4. 1,000 to go. I'm going to start slowing this jet down. We're going to need it in a minute. Approach checklist, landing data has been confirmed and set. Crew briefing is complete. Seatbelts, harnesses, radios, everything's all set up. Passenger prize lights are good. Passenger seats, fuel crossgates off. Maintenance gate is on. Yes, it is. Pressurization has been set and checked. Aspen airport elevation is 7,800. So we're going to bring this on up here to right around there for the airport elevation. Perfect. Exactly what I want right there. Oh shoot. Yeah, that wasn't supposed to happen. Good. Airport just busted the altitude, but that's alright. We're gonna level off here. We're literally right at the point where we should start going down anyway, so that was a mistake. Should never happen again, but what are you gonna do about it? So altitude select, vertical speed down. 13.4 is what we're looking for now. It's definitely a mistake. Do not want to do that again. Start slowing this jet down again. Coming on the approach. Speed checks. Flaps approach.
At 1450, Angel Clinton Center, Cynthia, Servo arrival.
Aspen Towers 18.5. 1885, I should say. Alright, 12.3 is a bit. Slowing her on down. We're going to go ahead and bring in full flap speed checks, gear down. Good to go down to 11.7 now.
Number 709 for Lima, Albuquerque Heated Center, Gila Bend, altimeter 3007. Minimums are going to be to 10-2. So we're doing pretty good. Pretty steep approach coming in. I can see that right now. 110 on my speed. I can bring it down a little slower too. It's going to be steep. And there's my fix. 656, contact 11.85.
1885, 656.
Class Delta below in 1.6
Aspen
miles.
Tower, citation 6656, and localizer DME Echo runway, straight runway for 15.
Number 665, Aspen Tower, straight runway 15, to land.
Straight runway 15, cleared land, 6656. Alright, set up there, looks like we're doing pretty good. The missed approach is going to be a heading 300. I'm going to go ahead and bug that. Seeing anything, so we're bringing it up to our speed here. 656 going missed.
Number 6656, keep the missed approach procedure as published.
As published, 656. 238, 656. Flaps are coming up. Gears up. Climbing out. Further procedure. 1085. It's plugged in there. Going to be capturing that bulk. Altitude select. Aspen departure, Citation 6656 is on the missed approach out of Aspen, 111.3, climbing 14.
Number 666 Aspen departure, radar contact, clear request.
6656, we're executing the miss as published here. We'd like to go ahead and divert to our alternate of Eagle County via Victor 591 Kremling.
November 656 Aspen departure. I have your Eagle. I'm not going to be able to Victor 591 to stand by over next one.
Right, just let me know. I'm just doing this published for right now. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Pretty cool.
Number 656, clearance is available. Just let me know when you're ready.
Stand by 1656. Six by six ready to copy.
November 6656 is cleared to the Eagle Airport via Gleno. Golf Lima Echo November Oscar. Direct to Rifle VR Romeo India Lima. Direct Jesse Juliet Echo Sierra India Echo. Kremling VR Romeo Lima Golf. And then direct climb and maintain 16,000.
Not clear to Eagle Gleno, Rifle Jesse Kremling direct 16,000. 656.
Number 666, straight back correct.
Something wrong there. Right there. Press, climbing to 16. Alright, going to Gleno, so we're going to plug that in now. So after Gleno, we're going to delete that hold. Actually, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to right here. It's Gleno, then Romeo, India, Lima, Rifle. That's going to be correct there. So we can go ahead and get rid of the hold. And after Rifle is going to be Jesse. It's going to be J-E-S, Jesse. And from Jesse, we're going to go to
656, tag Denver Center 120.47.
12047. 656, good day. That's what's going to happen. Denver Center Citation 6656 16,000.
November 666, Denver Center, Eagle altimeter 3041.
3041. Suffix. Why is this doing this to me? It's fixing it. Alright. A little bit of a climb here. So go up and select altitude, climb. That will fix that. Perfect. So now we are on our route to all of this. The reason it's hard for you to see is because I have this set up right here. Right here. Reality GT. Let's go to up out window. here's what you want to see. Wonderful. So that's all been plugged in. And we're good. So fantastic. Just what I wanted. Alright, that was pretty hectic. Turn the igniters off. Don't need any of that anymore. Landing lights, of course, are off. All those other lights are off and set up. That's all been fine. Airplane's just kind of flying itself right now. And we're just kind of going from there. Things we did incorrectly that we'll have to do differently next time. One of those being having a localizer frequency set up in the number 2. Wasn't quite sure how we were going to do that, but we figured it out for now. So next time we're going to have to make sure we do that correctly. We've got 2,000 pounds of fuel. We're not going to need that much to get where we're going, so that's pretty good. In the meantime, we got to go ahead and get this approach plugged in for our alternate. Just going to my favorites at the very bottom. Aspen to Eagle. Looks like we're going to be going to Jesse, so it's a different flight plan, but I do have it plugged in there, so I'm going to go ahead and just put all this stuff in myself. So I'm going to be going from here to, let's see, Galeno, Rifle, Jesse, and then I think we said Kremlin to Eagle. Then from there, the approach, we're going to plan on the LDA runway 25 approach. Cat B full with the glide slope. Add to route. That's what we're going to plan on for now. So all this looks pretty good. I'm in nav, GPS, altitude hold. Very good. Alright, so localizer DME frequency is a 109.75. I'm going to go ahead and plug that into here. Procedures, we're going to be going to approach, not from Aspen, but from Eagle. We're going to be doing a LDA 25 from Kremlin. We're going to load that approach. And that should set us up perfectly for that, like it just did. And that's in like I want it to. Fantastic. Definitely a few mistakes made, which we will not make again. We'll have to practice some of these things outside of it. This is also not very well suited for single pilot operations, given where everything is, but, you know, whatever, that's fine. I'm also not intentionally going as fast as I can. I really don't want to have to deal with all this. Kind of see what's happening here.
At 1450, contact NorCal approach 121.3. 2013 United 1458.
So she's going to start turning there. That's good.
Air 357, contact Denver Center 120.47.
2047, 357.
Whoops. Looks like she's turning now. That was supposed to happen. Sometimes the autopilot looks like it messes up on this thing. It's not very realistic either, but whatever.
At 458 NorCal approach, thanks for Juliet. Altimeter 3005, expect ILS 28 to the left approach.
Yeah, that's not supposed to happen. Whatever. It matters not. Alrighty, so going on to this approach here, kind of see what's going on. this is the LDA 25. That's all been plugged in. Approach course is set. 8,000 foot runway. DME is of course required. Let's see. Got Mausers. ATIS 35575.
Cecil County Regional Information Bravo.
Short instruction. Advise on visual contact. You have information Quebec.
Quebec, an Eagle. Right.
Cecil County Regional Force. Agent information Quebec. 2156 Duluth. Wind calm. Visibility 10. Sky conditions clear. Temperature 4. Dew point -5. Altimeter 3041. Arriving at departing runway 25. Visual approaches in use. Reset all runway assignments and hold short instructions.
Now we got Quebec.
Advise on visual contact. You have information Quebec.
Got Quebec on board, not a problem. So 25 is what we're expecting to shoot for now. Eagle Tower is 19.8. Go and have that plugged in here. 19.8. So we have it. I'll swap it over in a minute. Alright, Kremling to Quandary is 14,000. And then we can go down to 13.8.
We're going to Papa Lima to discretion, maintain 900,000.
89,000.
12.9. And then just step down all the way down. So that's what we plan on doing. Tweak the glide slope, of course. Our DA is 8330, which is 1790 DH. Let's see if I can plug that in there.
Citation 666, advise when you have the ATIS. If you have an approach request, I'll take.
Citation 656 has Quebec, looking for the LDA runway 25.
Citation 656.
Denver Center, Kirby 7, flight level 230.
There you are, curve 257, Denver Center cross. Control at and maintain 17,000, 200 knots or less.
Misapproach straight out to the VOR.
Cross control at maintain 17,000.
Then the 001 radio up to Jesse and hold to 14.6.
57, altimeter 30.
Pretty simple.
303, Cat 57.
Got a little time to kill. We don't speed this airplane up. Get a little quicker. Experiment here. Yeah, all of that was wrong. That all should have been on the localizer, not a GPS. But that's
Center
alright.
4058, roger, Alpha.
Let's see, I'm just now seeing the live chat over here, guys. So let's see what you guys got going on over here. Make sure to always be this airplane first. I see a Worldwide West. Hey, from Bowling Green. Sup? We're down here in Dixon. And squawk code. This is an add-on for X-Plane yet. So this is a Carenado Citation S550. And this is the Reality XP GTN 750. It's pretty nice. So we'll get the add-on for it. The jet is not incredibly realistic, but it's close. I fly a 501 in real life, so I'm familiar with these systems generally, but there's a couple quirks that I haven't figured out about this one yet, because I don't fly an S550. So, but it's fun. It's a fun little flight to kind of challenge myself and see some areas where I might be a little bit rusty. So, it's pretty cool, certainly. But the biggest thing for now that I'm discovering is that the quirks with the autopilot that this one has that the real airplane doesn't have, as well as the problems where the GTN doesn't talk to the HSI correctly, and when I switch from VLOC to GPS mode, there are some problems that I have come across. Like, for example, if I go to nav source down here on the HSI, it automatically messes it up over here somehow. So that localizer approach I just shot was shot using the GPS, like it wasn't in VLOC, which is a problem. It's supposed to be in VLOC on a localizer approach or an LDA approach. So that's something that I did not do correctly before, but that's fine. Sometimes stuff happens. We've still got just under 2,000 pounds of fuel, so we're doing pretty good there. So we're at 16. Looks like we're probably going to get... Where are we going to get down there by Jesse? Just looking around. Jesse, currently 14,000. So we're going to plan on is that then. I've got the localizer tuned in, so we'll make sure to switch over to VLOC for this approach.
I believe this last month, 3,000. We can go ahead and cancel the airfile.
Runner Mobile Live, cancellation street seat radar services are terminated. Squawk and maintain VFR frequency change approved. Have a good day.
Squawk VFR, frequency approved, 9 Papa Lima, you too, thanks.
Say this is a lot more fun when everything works exactly like it's supposed to. This doesn't make it any easier when things don't work as they're designed, but you can't always get what you want, so that's fine. I'm going to go to view full screen on that approach. Go back to map, hide that plate, and I want to see what we've got on the load chart. So that looks good. So we got Jesse, 591, and Kremlin. Okay. So I see what he did for us there. It's probably a better idea than what I had, so that's good. Start the turn to come in. Kremling is the beginning of the feeder route, which will be 14, 13, 8, then 12, 9. So we're definitely going to have to be meeting these step downs for sure. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to set those restrictions in here to mandatory. That way I can follow my VSR and see what happens. Just see what happens when I do that. I want it to be at 12.9 there, at 12.2 there.
Contact NorCal approach 193 4.5.
Let's just see what happens there.
14C8 NorCal approach at Eddy, cleared islands from
Perfect. I can now follow my VSR here, basically to get VNAV all the way down, so that's pretty cool.
November 656, cross Kremling, at or above 14,000, cleared LDA, runway 25 approach.
Kremling at or above 14,000, cleared LDA, runway 25 approach, citation 656. Alright, so we're clear for the approach at or above 14,000 per Kremling, so we're going to set 14,000 right there. I'm going to bring back the thrust, just I really don't want to get too fast in this approach. Select vertical speed, altitude select, and descend. Say we only need 890 to get to Quandary at 14, but I'm going to go ahead and just get a little faster just to make sure I get down correctly. Igniter's going to come on for my approach checklist. Landing that has been briefed, crew briefing, everything's all the same. We're going to be a little bit lighter coming in. My VREF is probably going to be around the 85 range, but I'm just going to keep my bug around here at about 100. That will kind of give me some buffer room to play with. I got 8,000 feet to land on, so I'm not too concerned about it. Looks like we're definitely going to be all right for Quandary, so I'm pretty pleased about that. There's 1,000 to go. Altitude select still turned on, so that looks pretty good. All right, guys, you're asking how do I get over the fear of solo? So you currently have 5 solo hours, but still have the jitters. Is this normal? Absolutely, especially. I mean, there's old pilots and there's bold pilots, but there's not many bold pilots, right? So if you're just a little bit scared with your flying, that's totally normal. But remember, bravery is not the absence of fear. It's simply taking fear and saying, you know, go ahead and take a hike and just doing it anyway. So you got to go up there and actually, you know, fly the plane and get the experience that you want. But you know, don't be jittery. Like, know that you own it. Your CFI is probably not going to sign you off unless you actually know what you're doing. So take that and run with it. Is that going to answer your question?
Vertical track.
All right, 14,000. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and reduce my speed here. If I was flying this in a crewed environment where I had someone else helping me take care of things, I would probably be more likely to come in a little faster just to get myself some, you know, get there quicker. But right now, it's just me flying this airplane. I have no desire to come in too hot and mess it all up. So it's always a good idea to slow down and give yourself more time if you're flying a jet single pilot, especially one like this. So you definitely want to think about that. So about 200 looks pretty good. I like what I see coming on this approach. Let's go down to plates again. So I'm still in the area for 14, so it looks pretty good. Everything else is already plugged in. What I'll do is once I join the localizer, I will switch over to my VLOC. And Wes, something else for you about getting over the fear of soloing is the typical fear of solo has to do with something going wrong and you thinking that you're going to die, right? Like, oh, I'm going to crash a plane and I'm going to die. A totally legit, like, response. Go fly with your instructor and have him help you do things that get over that fear, like a bunch of emergencies. The more situations you find yourself in, the more likely you are, at least in training, to not be afraid of soloing, because you're like, oh, okay, this isn't that bad after all. Alrighty, my next altitude's 13.8, so I'm going to go ahead and descend down to that. 13.8.
Vertical track.
Descend. We're going to go 500 feet per minute. Actually, about 600 would be good. Thrust just a little bit. I have the autopilot panel up here, guys, because it's a lot easier for me to see than having to kind of go down here and figure all that out down there, so I much prefer just to leave it up here. It works a lot better, certainly. Anyway, 620 is needed. I'll go ahead and get myself just a little bit more. What in the world? It went below it again. Oh, darn it. Press altitude hold. That's fine. Normally I'd fix it right now, but I'm literally right at the edge of where I need to be. That's the problem with this autopilot. It should not do that, but it does. So, whatever. Sometimes you mess up. Anyway, VOAC says 12.9, so I'll set 12.9 in here. There we go. 12.9 is set. Okay, vertical speed, altitude select, descent. this one at 920, so I'm going to make sure I get at least a good 1,000 feet per minute in there. We're going to shoot this approach, getting our flaps in now, so I'm going to go ahead and bring the thrust back. Well, that looks good. 200 knots, speed checks, flaps 1. Speed checks, now flaps 2. Altitude select still showing good. Okay, give them speed there. Alright, about to intercept. As we do this, we're going to switch over our CDI to the localizer.
2500.
Hopefully it'll do it for us.
2500.
Alright, we're going to bring the gear down. We're going to go land flaps. Alright, I've got 3 green, no red, flaps to land. 120, get myself a little bit of go juice here. Let's turn my landing lights on. Let's see if she switches over for us. My localizer has been tuned and identified over here, so I get my Morse code showing up there. Okay. 1220 is what we're going to now. 12.2. 12.2. Vertical speed. Descend, altitude select, and we're looking for 2200.
At 14:58, contact San Francisco Tower 120.5.
A bit excessive, so we'll just kind of go something like this instead. It's not that bad. The next will be 1040.
Circle southeast, join right. Runway 1 right, runway 1 right.
Looks pretty good. Alright, 1040 is next. We'll go ahead and set to that. 10-4. Oops, there we go. Output select, vertical speed, descend. 1150 is what we're looking for. Right around there will be just fine. Speeds look good. I like what I see. And we need to be on the localizer. So there it is there. We're going to push to center the course up. So the course should be, let's approach 250, which is what I have set. So I am in nav,
Class Delta below in 6.5 miles.
which is what I want right now. So now I'm on this correctly. Very good. Is an okay speed to be at. Looking up here so you can see the airport. Ah, there's the airport up there. Alright, landing checklist, gear, lights, ignition.
Contact Eagle Tower 119.8.
19.8, 656 today. Eagle Tower, citation 6656 on the LDA 25.
Number 665, Eagle Tower, wind, calm, runway 25, cleared to land.
Clear to land, runway 25, citation 6656. Alright, we are clear to land, 3 green, no red. Flaps are set to land, everything looks good. We should be good to go. I'm going to touch fast. I'm going to go ahead and bring the juice back. A couple clicks here. See what's going on. Like what I see.
2500.
Next altitude is going to be 9,800. We get that selected, so I'm going to bring this down to 9.8. Increase a little thrust. Okay. Descent. Bring it down. Altitude select. We're looking for quite a bit high on the glide slope. That's okay. Keeping it coming down.
Alert. Terrain ahead. ahead.
This would be a little bit easier if I was in the real airplane where I could touch the buttons a little quicker, but sometimes you can't get what you want, so that's okay. That looks good. Coming on down. We're going to try to see if we can join the glide slope from up high, if we can. Bring this altitude down here just a little bit more to help me out. I'm going to try to get just below the glide slope and then make it work. Don't try this at home, kids. This is me trying to fix the sim being stupid. I'm at 100, which is good on my speed. I like where I'm at. Alright, my minimums are at 8330. Almost there. There we go. Which is basically almost here anyway. Okay, we're on the glide slope now. Looks good. Glide slope. There's the airport, so now we fly visually to the airport. Right, there she is. Decision altitude. We're good. We're going to begin descending. Airport's in sight. So, continuing the approach. Autopilot's off. Yaw damper.
Autopilot.
We
get rid of this.
At 14 Charlie, cross runway.
And we'll bring it on in.
1 left. Left turn, Echo, short, runway 28 right. 1 left, cross Charlie, the Echo.
You guys get to watch me botch this landing. It's going to be great. Alright, a little fast. Was not set either. That's one mistake I just made as well. That's the problem. In the sim, sometimes it's easy to forget little things that you usually do in the airplane because you take things for granted. Still a bit high. We're going to bring that thrust back and allow ourselves to descend.
At 14 on Echo, cross runways 28 right and 28 left, then join Alpha to the ramp. Fire ground
2 mile
0.8
final
on the
runway
other side.
25.
On Echo, cross the 28, join Alpha, monitor ground 0.8 on the other side, United 1458, thanks for that.
500.
1,000.
Warning. Terrain ahead.
Alright, I got lights. Happy, looks like we're doing good there. Lights. Alright, I'm 10 knots above VRF, a little low. Add some thrust.
500.
A slight correction. Gear down 3 green, no red. Double check that. Yes, I am.
400.
Alright.
300. Minimums. 200. 100. 50. 40. 30, 20,
Nice and easy.
10.
Let's hold it right here. On the markings, reverse thrust, speed brakes. There's 60. There we go. 656 going to Valley.
Number 665, I'm sorry, I was broken. Say again.
We're going to Valley Jet Center.
Number 665, if you stay on this frequency, it would be alpha to the ramp.
This frequency and alpha to the ramp. Thank you. 6656. Alright. That's good. Not a bad landing. Had better, had worse. Also a sim, so makes it a little bit more difficult. Looks like we're clear all the way around. We always do our after landings on the straightaway. Alright. Speed brakes are up. Motors are off. Landing lights off. Visions. Don't need any of that. Flaps. Come up. Looks good. Alright, well, for anybody that watched the stream, I appreciate you joining along for this short little flight, little alternate diversion. Pretty cool. This is my first time streaming in this airplane, first time doing a full flight in this plane on the sim, believe it or not. So I've actually never done this before on X-Plane in this Citation. Now I fly something like this in real life, however, I fly a slightly different model, a couple little differences that I'm not familiar with in this one. And also, not all these buttons work, nor systems work like they should in the real airplane. I've discovered that there are some pretty big differences that are quite annoying. But outside of that, it's pretty decent. It's not too bad. I kind of wish the systems would do a little better when it comes to say the way the GPS talks to the autopilot and the different systems. Because I was trying to make the VLOC work over here. I wanted to, I wanted to be able to switch over to my nav2 and show my nav2 bearing or source or course or whatever over here on top of this.